Well, welcome to Forgotten Liberty Radio, the voice of liberty in the Central Valley. I'm Matthew, technical producer of the show. I am joined, as usual, by John. How are you doing today, John?
Oh, I'm wonderful this morning.
Fantastic. I'm glad to hear that. We're running just a tad late this morning, so thank you, everybody, for tuning in late, hanging in with us as we're starting a little bit late this morning. Let's see. If you are watching on our Facebook stream, either later or on our YouTube later, please subscribe to us. Our podcast feeds are available in all of your podcast clients. We would love to have you as a subscriber, and it really does help our ratings. Besides that, John, what's the topic for today?
Oh, I don't know. We probably got quite a few again, you know. Turlock, you're having a couple parades today.
Yep.
There's
a women's march, right?
Yeah, women's march. I wonder if we get any broken windows. Burn
Possible.
up buildings.
Possible.
Sure, there'll be some pink hats and some signs, saying,
"Yep,
it's my body, my choice."
Yep.
Black Lives Matter. This and that. Turlock Black Lives Matter sponsoring the women's march. I don't know what the women's march has to do with Black Lives, but
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, I mean, you could look it up on Facebook.
Lovely.
Yeah, Turlock Black Lives Matter. And why does Turlock even have a Black Lives Matter?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
There's a local chapter run by two individuals. I've heard a fair number of things from both of them. They are a part of the defund police movement. To be clear on that, they want to redirect funds, not defund the police, and they want to look at the budget. It's not really clear. It's not really clear. Unlike a lot of the more radical areas where they're like, get rid of the police, they just want to look at the budget. So the defund part doesn't really make any sense to me. It's not really a good...
Well, right, but what was it, you or someone else that told me one of the founders of this deal local?
Mm-hmm. Both of them are.
But you know at least one of them.
Oh, yeah, I do.
Yeah,
you
grew up with the kid or something?
Not grew up, but I know who he is. He probably remembers who I am. I don't know. I haven't talked to him recently. It's been years.
Either way, yeah. How could someone that grew up in this valley be so radicalized and so racially motivated?
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
Period. I mean, of all people, I've shared my family history and on this podcast. Of all people that should be racially motivated or that would have the predisposition to be, wouldn't you think it would be the great nephew of, the leader of the Klan in this area back in the day? And I denounced them. But now we got these punk kids like this coming out and turning Turlock in our area into a racial deal.
Yeah,
sometimes
ridiculous.
I wish my great uncle was young enough to come out and go head to head with his homeboys with these guys. Because this Black Lives Movement thing is taking it to a level that the Klan never did.
Yeah,
and let's be frank, they're both heavy Democrat Party people in both organizations. That's a fact, Jack. And if Black Lives Matter can't figure that out, if the general public hasn't figured that out, that's your old party, Democrat Party right there.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what you get when you vote for Biden. And that's what you get when you vote for Kamala. They'll talk a good game, and Black Lives Matter will talk a good game, but let's be realistic. That's the radical racial party.
Yeah, it is. It's it's pretty bad. I have sat through a number of council meetings in the Turlock area, for Turlock, just person after person saying they want to defund the police, which again, the terminology is poor. I'm not against. I'm not against auditing the budget for the police, but the fact that you use the words defund the police just doesn't sit well with me.
Well, here's a reason to defund the police, right? The police are your local city law enforcement agency. And I've said many times, publicly, privately, that your local police's responsibility is to enforce municipal code. Our local police forces have been taken over by the state. Okay? We have a state police. That's the California Highway Patrol.
Right.
If there needs to be state law enforcement, the California Highway Patrol needs to be doing it. Mm-hmm. And these state enforcements are traffic. They're violations of the California state constitution.
Yeah.
We have federal police to enforce the United States Constitution.
Yeah.
Our city police are designed to enforce municipal code. Period. The end.
Yeah.
And we're funding them on a local level through local taxes and local propositions to enforce state and federal law. It's wrong. And we so many times have these local law enforcement agencies committing constitutional violations against the people. Right? We've had on this very program discussed two, not one, but two police involved shootings where the officer murdered the individual. And have I once, Matthew, used any other term for those shooting deaths? Those officers murdered a young man and a mature woman. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And whether they did it out of fear, out of cold blood, or out of some qualified immunity, those things lead to the public wanting to defund the police.
Yeah.
Because what are our unalienable rights?
Life.
Well, life is one. So does a law enforcement officer, if the California state constitution says the United States Constitution is supreme law of the land, and both documents list life as our first core unalienable right, is there ever a time where an officer not taking immediate life-threatening fire or assault of another type? Now, life-threatening assault, though, that can't be going fisticuffs with them.
Right.
Is there ever a time for that officer that can't take himself out of that harm's way to take a life? It's a violation of the constitutions. It's a violation of our God-given rights. And it's murder when they do this. Mm-hmm. Okay? Sheriff's deputy in Stanislaus County did that. A serious police officer did that. And these guys get off scot-free because our district attorney here is not going to press charges, but she's going to drag a case out 11 years about a mutual combat situation here on Golden State and Turlock and ruin a man's life because somebody else passed away. Yeah. Oh, somebody else that happened to be over the legal limit. Somebody else that happened to have been in altercations with his family earlier that day, we come to find in civil courts. She's not going to prosecute the law enforcement officers with qualified immunity, but she's going to prosecute a man who did nothing under the letter of the law or nothing in cold blood. It was all done in mutual combat.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
And that's why people want to defund the police. Because the police are violating us. They're violating their stated reason for existence. I don't know about defund them, but there's an argument for it.
I think there's an argument for auditing the budget to figure out where it's going.
Well, and our city councils need to be more proactive, right?
Yeah.
And say, you are going to answer to us. You know, we hire a city council.
Mm-hmm.
We hire a mayor.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I've multiple times messaged Ted Brandeval. Is that how you say his name? How you say that clown's name?
I think so.
Ted, you're a clown. I may not live in Modesto, but I message you on constitutional responsibilities, on historical responsibilities of the police department, the mayors. You know, I got problem with Galen Carroll. That's the MPD chief of police. Don't even know how to do his job. Yeah. Doesn't even know what his job is. Thank you for your opinion.
Yeah, so you're talking about...
And then I messaged the mayor, and the mayor won't even message me back. You know, I may not be a Modesto citizen, but Modesto is the hub of this county. And if anyone in this county is doing business, they're doing business in and around Ted's jurisdiction, and Ted needs to respond to them. So if you lose election, Ted, it's your fault. You're a piece of garbage because you won't respond. Being the mayor of Modesto means you answer to the citizens of Stanislaus County.
Yeah. Yeah.
Period. Because the county and the city are in bed together. The offices are at 1010 10th Street. They're in the same building.
Yeah.
We're funding everything as city-county combined.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay? So for that jackwagon to think he doesn't have to respond to anyone, and especially in an election year... And if I got to go back on Messenger and find the messages and give them to Matthew to show that I've done these things, I will. People on this show know I speak out of fact. I don't speak out of the left side of my rear. And he doesn't answer me. And the chief of police, well, thank you for your opinion. It's not my opinion. So as frustrated as I am, as a man who wants there to be some kind of enforcement, some kind of social structure to where we police ourselves, how we behave in society, I can see the argument of the things that have happened just right here in our community to take some of these monies and some of these responsibilities away from the police, can't you?
Yeah, I definitely can. Again, like I said, I think the messaging is poor. Nobody wants, and I've talked to a couple people. Actually, I messaged somebody about this, and they never responded. Seems like we have similar.
Well, they don't think they don't think we're entitled to an answer.
I mean,
see, they think everything's an opinion. Not everything's an opinion. Opinions are feelings. They're not based in fact.
Yeah.
And when you come at these politicians that don't even know the fact, the mayor of Modesto has no clue what's in this California state constitution.
Yeah, no.
These are 8.5 by 11 pieces of paper. There's 168 front and back. And I guarantee you, the Modesto mayor ain't never read the thing cover to cover. And if you do, you got to go back and read it again.
Yeah.
Trust me, I read it on a weekly basis. Not cover to cover on a weekly basis, but I'm always referring to our California Constitution and our federal Constitution to support my arguments. And then you got these jokers come out with a Commerce Clause or the General Welfare Clause or the this or the that. And then you point to the Federalist Papers and they all go, well, that's not what it says.
Mm.
But these people, they just run around and make these arguments based on what legislation Congress has enacted.
Yeah.
Or our states have enacted. Or our municipalities have enacted in violation of these documents.
Yeah.
And none of them know.
Yeah.
I mean, I ain't for Turlock Black Lives Matter. I ain't for defunding the police.
Yeah.
But I am for, addressing these issues head on.
Yeah.
Getting our police back to local enforcement. Right? And if that means intervening because a guy's beating his spouse, well, that's fine. Or a gal's beating her spouse, that's fine.
Sure.
Right? If that means that we pull the sheriff back from all enforcement inside municipalities, from all enforcement of anything that's not court-related, then the sheriff's doing their job, securing the citizens' liberties above all else, right? Securing the prisoner, keeping them safe so no one else can come in and get them, right?
Yep.
See this in the Westerns all the time, where the sheriff had the person in jail and had to stand and fight to keep that person safe while they went through the process. A defender of that person's rights.
Yeah.
They show that in the movies to us. Hollywood believes that that's the sheriff's responsibility, not following you down the road, writing you a ticket.
Yeah, exactly.
And definitely not shooting at you through a car window when you won't comply with them.
Yeah.
So Turlock Black Lives Matter, they go march down here. They're going to be at the Rite Aid. They're going to.
Oh, okay.
You know, half of them going to meet on Monte Vista at the Rite Aid there and take up the whole Rite Aid parking lot. Grandma won't be able to get in to get her prescription drugs today because they got to go wearing their pink vagina hats and run around this city looking like fools because there ain't no racial problem in Turlock. There's no racial problem in Stanislaus County. There's no racial problem in California. I mean, we entered the Union as a free state.
No racial problem in the United States?
Well, the racial problem in the United States is the Black Lives Matter movement.
Did you ever hear the interview from Morgan Freeman? This is a long time ago.
Yeah, Morgan Freeman. I'm going to stop referring to you as a white man. You're going to stop referring to me as a black man, and we're just going to know each other as Morgan and whoever.
Yeah, and he said, and the interviewer said, "How do we fix racial inequality?" He says, "Stop talking about it. It doesn't exist," or something along those lines.
Right, exactly.
I'll throw the video in there.
Oh, Morgan Freeman, dude, that guy's wonderful.
Yeah, yeah, he's good.
Wonderful. Anyhow, I don't know. Just don't go in your Black Lives Matter. And then we got the Trump train this afternoon taking off from the fairgrounds.
Well, and I heard that there's, I guess, a counter protest as well for the Trump train.
Oh, I'm sure there is. Black Lives Matter's doing their thing at 10. They're going to walk around until 1. Trump train's going to roll off from the fairgrounds at 1. So you know Black Lives Matter morons are going to run over there and protest the Trump train. Sure. When the Trump people didn't protest the Black Lives Matter deal, right? And then somebody's going to spit on somebody. They're going to go fisticuffs. There's going to be a fight. It's going to be Trump fools' problem.
Yeah.
It's going to be the Patriots that got out of hand. You know what? I everybody knows I listen to KrisAnne Hall's Daily Journal.
Mm-hmm.
And it was yesterday, the day before. Her husband, JC, said, "There's bullies, patriots." And I forget what the other one was now that I want to vocalize it. But you're either gonna be a bully or a patriot, basically.
Yeah.
You know, and Black Lives Matter's bully. They're just bullying their way.
Yeah, it's not.
And then the patriots, they do their own things to cause problems.
Sure.
And then there's everyone else who just goes along to get along. You'd have to listen to the episodes. I mean,
I'm just going to link the show.
Yeah, you got to be deep in there. Listen to the episodes to get where I'm referring. But
sure, I'm sure.
Basically, it was like complacent people, bullies, and patriots.
Okay.
And the complacent people, they just go about their business.
Yeah.
They're really not involved, so to speak. They vote, every 2 or 4 years, and then they go deal with what life throws at them. But it is what it is,
Yeah.
You get back to Morgan Freeman. He's like from Louisiana or Mississippi or something, isn't he?
I don't know.
So it's like, yeah, Charleston, Mississippi.
There you go.
Charleston, Mississippi. You know, you don't get much more south or radical racial than growing up in Mississippi. You know, and this man says, we're going to stop talking about it. I'm going to refer to you as you. You're going to refer to me as me by name.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we're going to go from there.
Yeah, of course he's getting...
He's getting old, bro. He's getting old.
Oh, he is. I'm trying to find his original video, and I can't. Of course, there's all sorts of like, there's all these things where people think that he's all wrong. I just want his original video.
You know, Black Lives Matter. He's an Uncle Tom, right?
Yeah, of course he is.
They got to come up with a name for him so they don't have to have a counter argument to what he's saying. Because their counter argument's going to be, I'm a racist son of a gun.
Yeah.
Wonder what our buddy Bob would think about that.
Oh, boy. Haven't heard from Bob in a while.
Yeah, he don't call no more.
You didn't call him more?
I haven't heard from him. Have you heard from him?
I haven't heard from him. It's been a while. Yeah. We'll have to find it. We'll have to dig up his number, see if we can give him a call.
Yeah, well, we ain't got no time for that.
Not today. Not today.
I don't even want to go there for material.
Oh man. Yeah.
So we got a Republican Party versus the state for ballot boxes issue going on.
Yeah. So I meant to pull up this article. Let me find it really quickly here. It basically supposedly, and this is all based off allegations of somebody. A few people, I believe, at New Life, who said that some people from Ted House's campaign dropped off unauthorized ballot boxes. So here, there we go. It says at least one Turlock church has suspended use of an unofficial ballot drop campus. According to New Life Christian Center executive, a drop box was provided to the church by the House campaign. By Tuesday, the church made the decision to remove the drop box after Stanislaus County Registrar of Voters, Donna Linder, contacted the organization. Basically said it's illegal. This wasn't an authorized drop box. I'm trying to read to see whether they got in touch with House.
You got that out of the
journal, Turlock Journal. Yeah. While they declined to comment how many unauthorized ballot boxes they distributed throughout the area, the House for Congress campaign issued the following statement regarding the unofficial drop sites. In a state where our Democrat opponents use felons and illegal aliens to harvest ballots from their voters' front porches, we support allowing voters to turn their ballots to trained church volunteers at trusted places of worship. However, memorandum from...
well, where's a picture of the damn ballot box?
Right there. Just kidding. That's a stock photo. I have no idea.
Right. So even the Turlock Journal's not showing a picture of the ballot box. Okay? And here's the situation.
Mm-hmm.
AB-1921. AB-1921 is the law, the legislation that allowed for these ballot harvesting changes.
Okay.
Now they're going to refer to ballot harvesting as anyone other than yourself returning your ballot. Okay?
Okay.
I have had... Yeah, sorry, United States unknown caller. You know what? You don't want to put your name up there. Don't call me to try to sell me your crap. My Social Security account's fine. The IRS...
Are you sure your vehicle warranty is not bad?
Well, that one...
Your vehicle warranty is about to go on. We've been trying to get in touch with you, John.
They have. They send us letters after letters after letters that never arrive at our mailbox.
They say that. Yep.
You know, maybe...
Or do you have student loan?
Maybe someone harvested the ballot or harvested the mail they've been trying to send to us. No, getting back to ballot harvesting. So originally, if you were ill and couldn't return your vote by mail ballot in person, I mean, let's face it, if you were working out of town, this or that, you waited too long to be able to mail that, you could designate a family member to return that for you.
Yeah, okay. Isn't there a slot there on
on the outside of the envelope, you can check that, right?
Yeah.
But pretty much they changed it to where anyone's able to do this.
Okay.
So if there is a problem, now I read through the Assembly Bill number 1921. Who authored that? None other than Lorena Gonzalez. Ms. AB5, you're dumb shit. Oh, you might want to bleep that out. I don't care. Doesn't matter to me. Because this woman did this 1921, the ballot harvesting changes. She did Assembly Bill 5, and I got to tell you, everything she's done has just been
lovely, isn't it?
Horrendous for the state of California. We look like real schmucks because of the people that are in power, man.
Yeah.
500,000 people down there in Southern California. I think she's out of San Diego. San Diego, you need to get your together. And you're going to bleep that one out again, too? We need a disclaimer. This is not a child-friendly show.
Yeah.
We talk about politics. I mean,
it's
you
true.
think all the big podcasts, Chad Prather Show, Dan Bongino, quite frankly, all these shows that do real good, not too many of them bleep things like that out.
That's true. It's true.
I'm not George Carlin over here going off about, the 5 words you can't say on the radio. Plus, if somebody's subscribing to our show, Matthew, I mean, we might want to look in, review our personal policy on that.
Sure. Yeah, we could talk about it. We could talk about it.
Anyhow, so Lorena Gonzalez does this thing. And so what it says is, any person can now return the ballot, right?
Okay.
So what it did was it amended Section 3017 of the California Elections Code to read, all vote by mail ballots cast under this division shall be voted on or before the day of the election.
Okay.
After marking the ballot, the vote by mail voters shall do any of the following. 1. Return the ballot by mail or in person to the elections official who has issued the ballot. 2. Return the ballot in person to a member of a precinct board or polling place.
Okay.
Or vote center within the state. So not necessarily even in your county.
Interesting.
Dude, I could be in Stanislaus County and return my ballot to the San Diego County,
Oof.
the Merced County,
that's not great.
the Tuolumne County.
Yeah.
Registrar.
It's not good.
Precinct. Or elections official.
Mm-hmm. Looking to see.
Or, number 3, return the ballot to vote by mail ballot drop-off location within the state that is provided pursuant to Section 3025 or 4005. However, a vote-by-mail voter who is unable to return the ballot may designate any person to return the ballot to the elections official who issued the ballot, to the precinct board at a polling place or vote center within the state, or to a vote-by-mail ballot drop location within the state that is provided pursuant to the two aforementioned sections of the Elections Code. The ballot must, however, be received by the election official who issued the ballot, the precinct board, or the vote-by-mail drop-off location before the close of polls on Election Day. If a vote-by-mail ballot is returned to a precinct board at a polling place or vote center or vote-by-mail ballot drop-off location that is located in a county that is not the county of the elections official who issued the ballot, The elections official for the county in which the vote by mail ballot is returned shall forward the ballot to the election official who issued the ballot no later than 8 days after receipt. So everybody's all like, oh, people are going to be able to vote past the 3rd. You do whatever you want. Your stuff is not going to be counted. Because if you drop that off,
illegal.
Yeah, if you drop that off in San Diego County on election day, they're allowing 1 week plus 1 day for that county registrar to put that in an envelope and send those to 58 different counties across the state.
Yep.
To get them to their county registrar of origination.
Yeah, that's not.
And let me tell you, it happens faster than that because the state contracts with California Overnight, with UPS, with FedEx, with all these organizations. And don't even get me started on FedEx and UPS. These people couldn't find water if they fell out of a boat.
Yeah.
Okay, so the problem is, and in reading just the first section of the law, okay, where the Republican Party is putting out these ballot boxes in Fresno County, Merced County, Stanislaus County, where the House campaign is putting out these ballot drop-off boxes.
Mm-hmm.
And they're putting official in the paper that's on the box.
Mm-hmm.
That's where they're violating the law. And let's call a spade a spade. Ted House can't put that stuff out there and have official box on it.
Yeah, I know.
You can't do that.
Yeah.
The Republican Party can't put that box and have official ballot drop box. You can't do that.
Yeah.
Because it's not. So, and there is no defense for them if that's the case.
Mm-hmm.
But look at the Turlock Journal. Won't even put up a picture of the in question ballot box.
Yeah.
Who's the editor on the Turlock Journal?
I do not know this.
You don't know?
I don't.
Well, I know the editor for the series Couriers, Jeff
Okay.
Benzinger.
The story's by Angelina Martin, but I don't know who the actual editor is.
Okay, Turlock Journal and Series Courier share an office. They're owned by the same person.
Right. So
Okay.
Modesto B too, right?
No, Modesto B is separate.
Oh, okay.
Modesto B's McClatchy papers, right?
Gotcha.
Modesto B's a rag. I wouldn't keep it in the outhouse.
There's so much to say.
I mean, people don't like the Courier or the Journal because it tends to lean conservative, right?
Okay. I honestly don't read either of them enough.
You look at their Facebook or their other social media accounts, and people are always throwing a fit about that.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Newsflash: you moved from the Bay Area to a conservative area, socially accepting, but pretty much politically conservative.
Sure.
And that's where you get that blue dog Democrat or that purple district that we talk about.
Yeah, exactly.
You know. But Turlock Journal, they're not going to put a picture up. They're not going to talk about this stuff.
No. Of course they're not.
You know.
So it does look like I don't know who it's Christina Hacker is the editor.
Whatever. What a hack job. Christina, put a picture in the paper of the real ballot box next time you do a story. I mean, this is, you know.
Or at least mention, like, oh, hey, we weren't able to get a picture for this reason.
Or well, what? Donna Linder commented they couldn't, provide her with a picture of the box?
Right.
Come on.
Right?
Come on.
Right, exactly. So, and to be clear, I was reading this. I didn't quite read through this. But the pastor said that it's actually a contested issue.
Well, the pastor can
legally, you're allowed to do that. It's what you said. It's the signage.
It's the signage on the box. Okay, I'm not going to say that they don't have the legal authority to do so in the legislation provided us by Ms. Lorena Gonzalez of San Diego. Batting first and striking out constitutionally, we have Lorena Gonzalez, number 5. Some of her accomplishments include sticking us with another carve-out.
AB5.
Proposition 22, another carve-out for a single industry.
She's Prop 22?
No, she's not Prop 22.
Okay.
She's a reason for Prop 22.
I was going to say, I didn't think
she allowed those other carve-outs in the bill.
Yeah.
And Prop 22 is just another carve-out.
Yep.
You know why I'm against it, because it's not equal for everyone.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
on that matter.
You can refer to last week's episode on that.
Yep, another strike for Lorena Gonzalez.
Yep, exactly.
So in the topics we've covered on this show, Lorena Gonzalez is 0 balls, 2 strikes. Sooner or later, the count will be full and they'll get rid of her in San Diego. Shuffle her down to the farm team where she'll be a city council member or county board of supervisor. Because that's how we do it. We stay in politics, Got to keep our players in the game.
Of course, always.
Well, the late great Tom Berryhill, he was demoted to the farm team.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yep.
We can only have these people on the pro roster for up to 12 years, and then we got to move them back down to the local organizations to continue out their retirement.
Yep.
What else did we have? What else do we got going on in the news?
Oh boy.
Hey, we got a bunch.
You want to talk about something else interesting? I guess this full circle.
Yeah. What do you got?
So this is from the Turlock Police Department, and they want to have people who are highly motivated and want to make a difference in the community and their police department to get involved. Quote, direct quote, "We are looking for people from our culturally diverse..." Oh, shoot, they changed this. Hold on.
They changed it.
They changed it. Yep, they changed it, which they said that they would. So props for them for changing it. They put it up. They put up... Okay, qualifications. A Turlock resident or representation of a segment Turlock community that would help to ensure a divorce board. Previous versions of this webpage did not include this section. Examples include, but are not limited to, they literally said, these are the things that qualify you to be on the police advisory board. Now, I don't know whether this was just, they overlooked it. It came off real
So it's a police
bad.
Advisory board, not a divorce board.
No.
Because you said...
Did I say divorce?
You said divorce.
Wow. I'm tired, obviously, this morning. Advisory board.
I'm thinking,
but anyhow,
I'm thinking, why would we need a board to oversee divorces in Turlock? But the police department gets involved in everything. So
divorcing the police.
So I don't,
I
don't necessarily think there needs to be a citizens advisory board for every swinging thing in this.
No, but here's the problem. So I didn't read the list. I didn't read the list yet.
Hold on. Yeah, okay. Well, it doesn't matter. My opinion's not going to change. I've already heard enough information to say we don't need that program in Turlock.
Probably not.
Okay,
no?
Because we hire a mayor. We hire via district city council members.
And we have a city manager and a lawyer. We have all these people to keep an eye on.
Well, wait. If Tom Hallinan's your city attorney in Turlock, you got to find a new one because that guy couldn't, again, another one that couldn't find water if he fell out of a damn boat. Not Tom Hallinan for County District 5. Okay.
You sure?
Yeah, because he can't even take down his signs, and then months later he argues with it, says, I'm spun up because I expect an attorney to follow state law and follow the oaths he signed when he ran for office on a 3-year-old campaign minimum.
Yeah.
The guy's a jackass. Put another mark because you're going to take it out or leave it there. I don't care.
I'll put it there, see if I remove it later.
Fight with me. I don't know why someone would get so spun up. Someone got spun up because you're a damn attorney who don't even know the law. Not only are you a damn attorney, you're the city attorney in the jurisdiction in which I reside.
You city attorney for who?
Ceres, Patterson.
Oh, okay.
You want to name a bunch of other cities? He does like 6 in the damn county.
Oh, of course.
How many do we have? 7?
Yeah, something like that.
Jesus Christ, we got the dumbest sumbitch representing us on a legal basis in this. All these bootlickers in office keep him there. The people I'm supporting better reevaluate who we're using for city attorney, or they're going to be, man, I don't even want to see that guy's face. Take that off your screen. That dude annoys me. Which one of my buddies put you up to this? I got to tell you, Marla Souza Live and Good. Mm-hmm. I sent her a message about her sign. Mm-hmm. The girl went out the next weekend.
Nice. That's impressive.
She went out the next weekend and removed the sign from Merced County.
That's impressive.
Said to me, wow, you have really good eyes to see that sign sitting there on side of that cornfield. Thank you for letting me know. Tom Hallinan, argue with me. Facebook Messenger, his supporters page, his supporter that's another attorney. They argue with me. James Conant put you up to this, didn't he? No, James Conant didn't put me up to Tom.
That's ridiculous.
Take your damn sign down.
That's crazy.
Jeff Dunham got another one coming. I ever get a hold of him. That's silly SOB. He ain't even responded to the Facebook Messenger. State Attorney General knows where you live, Jeff. You better go get your sign down. Better check Facebook.
This has been a problem for quite a while. We had issues with Dirksey putting signs up in the sheriff's election.
Then these guys, they talk about blight. They talk about blight. The blight not safe. We need more money. Yeah. We need more funding to clean the trash. But you take your damn sign down that you own first.
Yeah.
Tom Hallinan had that sign on Faith Home Road going on 4 years minimum. Looking trashy.
Wow.
Hanging from the TID pole. You can't put your shit on TID's pole anyways. But
that's
you did.
Ridiculous.
Well, I hire a sign guy. Oh, well, you need to get a new sign guy, Tom. That sign guy's stupid.
That's not how it works. That's when when there's an issue and somebody comes to you with an issue, you don't point the finger at somebody else inside your organization. This is exactly the type of stuff that I deal with at work, and it drives me nuts because people are like, "Oh, well, it's not my problem." Yeah, I don't care. You're the top of the org.
Yeah, well,
right? It's your responsibility.
We're partners in this gig, right?
Exactly.
Okay, if Matthew does something, I got to take care of it.
Like not post the episode soon enough.
Well, I can't do nothing about that.
Hey, I got it up on Monday.
No, it was up on Monday.
It was up on Monday.
How many episodes do we have in the can? You never put up.
2.
Oh, wow.
2.
One of those is very important.
I promise.
One of those you ought to throw up as a midweek special.
Okay,
I'm sure Mr. Raposa would love to hear one of them.
Yeah.
It's another jackwagon, stupid, silly son of a bitch. Okay, so moving on. I sent you all the stuff, all the discussions with Tom Hallinan, right? I gave you, I told you where all that stuff was.
Yeah.
Am I overreacting when I talk about this, man?
No, I think exactly like I just said. Like, I think especially when it comes to issues where you're like, hey, dude, move your stuff. You don't just sit there and be like, oh, well, I hired somebody else to do that. Yeah, I understand that you might have hired somebody else to do that. Well, they did a crappy job. Fix it. Tell them what to do. I'll give you a perfect example. I had a guy speeding through our community. We live in a gated community. We had a guy speeding through our community this last week.
So how'd he get in here to be doing his stuff?
I'll get to that. His employer lives here, and this was his employee. So I dialed the number on the truck. I said, hey, I don't know if this was you or an employee of yours, but your truck was speeding around our community, going way too fast for our community. Mm-hmm. It's 15 miles an hour. He was probably hitting 30 over the speed bumps. I was like, wow.
In his perfectly maintained vehicle, throwing his tools all out the side.
Guy says, all right, that was probably my employee. I'll take care of it. I'm going to call him right now. That's an example of how to properly respond to a complaint from somebody. And dude doesn't have any responsibility. He's not an elected politician. He's not running for office. Very respectful, very nice. That's how you deal with something like that.
Yeah.
You don't go, oh, well, I hired him to do his job. He, whatever. Just make excuses. That's BS. I call BS on that. That's ridiculous. I don't understand people like that. Again,
So,
I deal
okay,
with that kind of stuff at work all the time. I don't want to deal with it.
And
with
here's
other people.
and here local right here local. I mean, I'm looking at it on here. You're looking at it on your screen over there,
Yep.
right? This ballot issue, whether it's Fresno County Republican Party, Stanislaus County Republican Party, Ted House for Congress, at the New Life Church, at the This Life Church, at the Catholic Church, the Mormon Church, at this church, that church, the other church, or simply in the middle of the goddamn mall.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Hallinan is an attorney running for your county District 5 supervisor seat. And where is he on this issue? Where's he commenting? Where's our journalists going to Condit, going to Hallinan, going to these guys, especially Hallinan, when he's the sitting city attorney for most of the cities in this county? Where are they going? What's your take on this? What's the legal aspects here?
Right.
As a candidate, you'd think in an attorney that he'd be most qualified to answer the question. But I got to tell you something about Tom Hallinan. The guy needs to be an appointed hattie corner of the room. He's a dunce. He doesn't even know state law. He doesn't know election code. If he did know election code, he would have never came at me about the sign. I hire a sign guy. I know what to do. Which one of my buddies put you up to this? Why are you so twisted? Maybe I'm twisted because it's been going on a month and a half and you don't believe me. Maybe I'm twisted because you're a city manager in the city or city attorney in the city of Ceres and you've never driven down the boundary road of the city you represent.
That's
Less than 200 yards, less than 2 football fields south of Whitmore Avenue, on Faith Home, in the city he's city attorney, in the city, in the area he resides, and he's asking me which one of his friends put me up to this? They're insinuating that even after another attorney friend of his and supporter says, yeah, the sign's there, Tom, you got to look for it. And that dumb attorney said it's north of Whitmore, south of Hatch, got the location in the wrong spot, but I got to give that guy, some leeway because he's from Delhi or Denair. He's not from Ceres. Regardless, don't none of them know what they're doing. They don't know what they're doing in their own life. They're certainly not qualified to act in governance of ours.
Yeah. That's one of the reasons, I think I mentioned to you personally, I'd like to run for city council at some point. But I'm not going to do it without knowing what's going on.
I don't have time.
I don't know that I have time either.
I don't have time to run against to run against Mike Klein. Okay? Who thinks it's a slap in the face. A slap in the face that Chance Condon, as a sitting Ceres council member, made a motion that to save almost $100,000 that the limited part-time city council and not have city-funded health care. Okay? Regardless of how you feel about the Condits, Mr. Klein, regardless of how you feel about your compensation or that you spend time on StanCOG or this board or that board or these other extra government boards with no elected representation, and make no mistake, we the people didn't elect anybody to serve on StanCOG. Okay, we didn't elect anybody to sit on a regional board of transportation. These are extra government deals that you people just make up out of your backsides and force us to deal with. Right? We don't get to decide whether Ceres Fire is dispatched to Kansas Avenue to assist in a mutual aid situation when it would be more economical for Modesto to send their own second truck. We don't get to decide if you regionalize our water, if you regionalize our sewer, if you regionalize our fire departments. We don't get to decide these things. And you're not earning your health care.
Yeah.
And up until that point, I was having a mental dilemma on which one of these 3 individuals I wanted.
For supervisor?
For Surrey City Council in my district.
Gotcha.
Dude, our district is 10,000 people. We have 4 running for that seat.
Wow. A lot of people.
One's been in city government over 10 years, going on 15, 16.
Wow.
Okay? One's Cooper Condit. One's Daniel Martinez. The other guy we won't even discuss because he can't even respond to the series Courier. Him and Jose, his name's not Jose.
Javier Lopez.
Javier Lopez, that's it.
Please refer to our last episode for John's thoughts on that.
Or was that the time before?
I don't know. That's a good question. Was it?
It doesn't matter.
It was one of them. It was one of them.
Really doesn't matter.
I think it was the one before. Yeah, at least in my district, we only have one.
And then how am I gonna run anyways?
Oh yeah, no.
I mean, you got the incumbent that won't ever stop running.
Yeah.
You got the incumbent that wants to tell another council member it's a slap in the face that you believe that I shouldn't get health benefits on the back of the city.
Oh.
You got a state legislative manager and Chance Condit. And you got this Daniel Martinez. Mr. Martinez calls me on a bi-weekly basis to get my take on things. That's
good.
It's as a candidate doing that, that's very promising.
Yeah, and it's highly respectable.
Well, and it shows respect for the constituency, right?
Yeah.
So here I am with the long-established relationship with the Condit family as a Ceres resident, as we know it is District 10 now, watching and knowing the family's views on things and knowing how these boys were raised. And Mr. Martinez that calls me just to chat about what's going on and get my take on things. And I'm not by any means going to not discuss issues with Mr. Martinez or Mr. Cooper Condit after the election, depending on who wins, whether it's Mike, one of the two of them, or even this fourth guy that somewhere stuck in Charlotte's Web out there. Because it's important that we stay involved in our, especially in our cities.
Yeah, I learned a lot just sitting there through a bunch of different council meetings. It was a lot of time spent sitting there watching them, but especially now with COVID that you can just pull it up on your phone and listen to it. I'll have my AirPods in and do something else. And
that's wrong too, right? That's totally jacked up too.
Yeah.
Because the governor's mandate or executive order, they're all based on if you can't social distance, man, I can sit 6 feet away from somebody. I sit 10 feet away. Don't lock us out of these chambers. They're not your chambers. They're our damn chambers.
Yeah, it's the people's chambers.
And if you don't want to go in without a mask, don't go in.
Yeah. I would be much happier going to council meetings in person.
If you don't want to go on, if you don't want to go in with a mask, don't go in.
Yeah.
The point is, if I can be 6 feet away from somebody, I don't have to mask.
Yeah.
If I have a deviated septum or chronic sinus infection or this, that, the other, one of who knows how many issues, I don't have to wear a mask. I don't need a face shield. I don't need a face covering. I don't need a face diaper, as South Park calls it. I mean, I am just sick and tired of the overreach and the if you don't do this, you're not supportive of others or compassionate for others.
That's BS.
Man, you know what?
If
there are so many things that would make my mental stability much better of every day if the general public just, complied with my request.
Sure.
Like planning ahead when you're going to enter the freeway, planning ahead when you're going to exit the freeway, being courteous on the road and merging in behind the loaded semi-trailer.
Maybe not slamming on the brakes in front of them, too?
Yeah, or the highway patrol officer that goes from the number 1 lane to the freaking exit in 10 feet.
That's not cool.
Oh, it happens all the time.
Really?
Yeah. But I don't wear a mask and people are triggered, bro.
I don't.
But I got to have a heart attack and refrain from killing you because you're stupid and not get triggered because we call that road rage. And that's crime.
Yeah.
Some of these nut jobs going off on this mask thing and this virus deal, if that behavior was taking place against someone on the road, would be a crime.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, absolutely.
Come at me with your mask rage, please. Everybody, can you see me? Bring it. Bring it. I'm waiting for it. We can go fisticuff.
Yeah.
Enough of that. Have you watched any of the Senate Judiciary Committee circus?
The little bits and pieces that I've heard, audio snippets, I haven't actually watched it. I probably should, but I listen to other podcasts and get little audio snippets from there.
Yeah, I don't know why you don't watch it.
Yeah.
Maybe because it's irrelevant. Okay.
Well, maybe asking Amy Coney Barrett whether she's had any sexual harassment,
been sexually assaulted in her life.
Mazie Hirono is a joke. Mazie Hirono is a freaking joke.
Look,
why were you asking stupid questions?
Who sits on this committee?
I don't know.
The Judiciary Committee is represented by California. 2 out of 2 senators. Kamala's on the committee. Dianne Feinstein's on the committee. Mm-hmm. And just like Lorena Gonzalez, the two of you women make us look stupid. Cuckoo, cuckoo, cuckoo. We ain't all crazy people.
Kamala Harris wanted to... the little snippet that I heard,
they don't want nothing. They just want a BS, Matthew.
Well, and she... Kamala Harris
hear
just
me
wants
roar, because I'm running for vice president of the United States on an illegitimate ticket.
That's where I was going. Yeah. No, she was like, can I take a moment to speak to the American people directly?
You can't take a moment to nothing. You can take a moment to shut the hell up. This is not a campaign issue. There's no constitutional committee process in the nomination or confirmation of Supreme Court Justice.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It was ridiculous. Well, and you can tell...
Chuck Grassley.
Okay, so... Chuck, here's the Republicans are Grassley, Lee Sass, Tillis, Mike Crapo, Blackburn.
Well, the bottom line is Lindsey Graham and Dianne Feinstein are like the head, the top.
Yeah.
The main of this whole committee.
Right.
Everything goes to this committee. It's in committee for 2 weeks here. Then it goes to the floor. And if they want to vote on it, they'll vote on it.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Committees are not required by the Constitution. And to have a 2-week delay in the process while they tell us,
oh, well,
did you ever participate in any sexual harassment?
Merrick Garland. Merrick Garland didn't get a vote.
Do you believe in white supremacy?
I don't know what I believe, but I believe that whatever the people want me to believe in this moment is what I'll believe. And let me tell you something else. I think that Merrick Garland should have got up or down vote. And the people's voice was not listened to then, and we got to wait for the next presidential election so we know what it's going to be, who they want to be president. The Democrat Party doesn't even want Kamala and Biden. They proved that.
No.
They proved that. They snuck that in on you guys again. Y'all have wanted Bernie for 2 cycles, but they gave you Hillary last time, and they gave you Sleepy Joe this time.
You know, that party really screws its people. The Republican Party really screws its people, too. But at least when it comes down to it, the Republican Party at least gives you the nominee you pick in the primary. I mean, I gotta tell you, these Democrats are the dumbest. Mentally, they are mentally ill. Look at what the party keeps doing to you people.
I don't agree with Sanders' policy at all. Dude has been pretty solid on what he wants to do, and he got screwed over by the Democrat Party. He's been pretty solid on he wants socialism.
Yeah. So where was he 4 years ago? Where was he this time?
Yeah.
And where were the votes pouring in? They don't say, "Can you feel the burn?" for nothing. I'm telling you.
It's true. It's true. It's true. I don't understand why he didn't get the nomination.
But they can't feel the burn because the elevator don't go to the top floor. You got right here with Bernie.
Yep.
And they crept Hillary over the top.
Yeah.
You got right here with Bernie, and they crept Joe and Kamala over the top. Joe and Kamala were down here until Bernie dropped out. And why did Bernie drop out? Because the party told him, we're gonna creep Joe over the top.
Yeah.
And the members of the party keep allowing this to happen.
Yeah.
So getting back to the Amy Coney Barrett thing.
Mm-hmm.
What's the biggest issue that you're hearing? Why they don't want her? I mean, I hear a lot they're worried about Roe versus Wade.
That's probably the biggest thing that I've heard. Roe versus Wade, the people don't want you. I don't know. Like I said, I personally haven't been watching a lot of it. All I know is I can hear and see, like, basically Roe is the biggest one that I've seen come out of it.
So who was Roe?
To be perfectly honest, I don't have as much back history knowledge of Roe versus Wade. All I know is that even if Roe versus Wade were overturned, it goes to the states to make the decision as to how they want to apply abortion law.
What do you mean? What do you mean overturned?
So if Roe versus Wade were reheard, I guess.
Yeah. You're assuming that this they had federal jurisdiction to begin with,
right? Exactly. But let's go with the scare tactics of what's being put out right now. So let's say it got reheard, it got overturned, and it's whatever super precedent they say it has got overturned. States' rights still exist. A state can decide what they want to do because it's not in the U.S. Constitution. States already have abortion laws either protecting or protecting against. That's why places like Georgia, a lot of the film industry is moving out of there. So I really don't understand what the issue with Roe versus Wade is. That means that there's a greater issue. They don't want a conservative judge who will read the Constitution and interpret it as it was meant to be.
Okay, simple Google search, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the only reason I'm doing this is not because I'm going to take a personal stand on a woman's right to choose or not to choose.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Because then we got to get into the whole philosophical discussion about life and all that and the Constitution, and it goes way deeper. This is a very politicized issue.
Highly.
But very simple. Who was Roe in Roe versus Wade? Norma Leah Nelson McCorvey, better known as the generic legal pseudonym Jane Roe, was the plaintiff in a landmark legal case Roe versus Wade, Wade, in which the U.S. Supreme Court ruled in 1973 that individual state laws banning abortion were unconstitutional.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Roe was a Texas citizen at the time. And we know how all this works. Who was Wade? We're usually dealing with the state attorney general.
District Attorney of Dallas County.
Aha. Here we go. So Matthew does his own research.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So this is a Dallas resident and citizen suing the district attorney of Dallas. And it goes to the Supreme Court? Why does it go to the Supreme Court? Because she didn't like what happened in her state court dealings with Mr. Henry Wade?
Sounds an awful lot like a particular lawsuit that we've talked a lot about on this show.
This is like the CFR versus Padilla.
Yeah, it sounds really familiar, doesn't it?
Here's a problem, Matthew.
You mean other than people try to use the judiciary to enact
No.
law?
Here's the problem. Here's the problem with Amy Coney Barrett's nomination. It's another judge saying she's going to refer to the Constitution.
Yep.
Here's the problem. The judges in the judiciary, in the Ninth Circuit, the most liberal court in the land, have come to the realization that there's no federal authority for certain things, and that has landslid into every district in this nation.
Mm.
And whether the senators like it or not, the courts are doing their job.
Yeah.
And the simple fact is, they're worried about Roe versus Wade because there was never any legal authority for jurisdiction.
So you're saying it's a ripple effect. Once something like Roe versus Wade gets scrutinized and looked at, we could look at other cases and say...
It's not about scrutinization about the case at all. It's about the original jurisdiction.
Mm. Well, what I'm saying is once they look at it...
So if that case even makes it back to the docket, if a majority of justices on the court say, yes, let's reevaluate that, and they evaluate it, and their opinion in the 70s that said that it was unconstitutional for a woman not to be allowed that choice, changes to our opinion is the court never had the jurisdiction to decide that.
That's where I was going. Yep. Causes a real problem for people who want to rely on the judiciary to enact law. The judiciary is there to determine... Because
Dianne Feinstein, Kamala Harris, all these senators that want this would never win another election if they did it.
Yeah.
They've utilized the courts for decades to do their dirty work.
Yeah.
And you know what? I think the justices on the federal level are getting tired of that, being put in that position about now we got social media and people are slamming these justices personally. Right? These justices are outed.
Yeah.
You know, and they're not able to hide behind their black robe anymore.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that social media and technology's done for us. It's put us in a position where we can absolutely critique these justices on constitutional behavior, on Article 3 behavior.
Yep. Yeah. Absolutely.
I've read Article 3 to you people on this program many times. Many times. And we all know there's no federal authority for that. That's what the senators are upset about. That's why they're trying to kill this thing in committee. That's why they want to wait. Because Joe Biden would put somebody up there that would absolutely allow themselves to be used as a pawn.
That makes that
because that person is mentally ill.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
And I'm not going to argue the Merrick Garland thing, because even back then, people can go back and read everything I said then. And I've been saying the whole time that Garland should have been given an up or down vote. There shouldn't have been no, we're going to wait. Not in my viewpoint, because Congress has, or the Senate, not even Congress, Senate has one job.
Well, and they made it a partisan issue when it shouldn't have been, because the statement at the time was, we don't have a responsibility as the Republican Senate to confirm a Democrat nominee.
Well, don't.
That's not.
But put it to a vote.
Put it to a vote, and it doesn't matter whether it's a Democratic nominee or a Republican nominee. Do they uphold the proper viewpoints to be considered as a Supreme Court justice? Yes, no. It's really clear. So
put it to a vote.
Yeah.
Because at the time, Barack Obama knew there was an election coming up.
Mm-hmm.
He knew it wasn't going to be him.
Yeah. Remind me.
He was timed out.
This was at the end of his term, right?
He was lame duck.
Yeah.
Okay. And the Senate's elected by the people now, which it shouldn't be. We should repeal that BS and go back to our state legislatures, doing that.
Yeah. Yeah. See our previous episodes. Last episode?
I don't know. It don't matter. No, not the last episode. Because
our first episode back. It was that one.
I don't know. I don't know what it was. Bottom line is, the whole process is messed up.
Yeah.
The way everything functions is messed up. The mentally ill are running the asylum.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we are nearing the end of our epised here.
We've already been over an hour.
We have been over an hour. Did you want to go over a state for
homework?
All right, homework.
Everybody
get assigned homework.
Yeah. Go read your. We haven't got to this in 2 weeks now, so we got to get to it next week. Okay. Unless something local comes up or some more bull crap on this,
So next week,
issues come up. Article 5, California State Constitution, the executive. Let's finally talk about what Gavin had the authority to do or not to do.
All right. Next episode, we're talking about executive orders in the state of California. Cool.
Well, we're talking about the constitutionality of what the governor can and can't do according to the California State Constitution.
There you go.
Uh-huh.
There you go.
So
the homework is read all of Article 5, right?
Yeah, because and show up on our live feed on Saturday. Let's talk about this stuff, man.
Yeah.
We're doing this live so that we can engage with you guys live.
Yeah.
Right?
Facebook.com/Forgotten Liberty Media /live. Or there's a link.
9 a.m. or thereabouts.
Yep. 9 a.m. or thereabouts.
We'll try for 9 a.m. Johnny had some personal oversleeping issues today.
Hey, we got to start it on time, right? 9:10 is 9:10
we were
is
10 minutes late, so I don't want to do that, but that's like John's standard time.
JST.
Yeah.
Yep.
But
all right.
We want to talk about some Americans Restoring Representation 8 from 1 divided together state proposals here.
Okay.
So we're going to go with the proposed state number 2. If you live in Sonoma, Solano, Napa, Marin, Contra Costa, Alameda, San Francisco, or San Mateo County, you're one of 5,518,888 approximate people prior to the 2020 census. And you would make up the proposed state number 2. These include areas such as Santa Rosa, Vallejo, Napa, San Rafael, Concord, Oakland, San Francisco, and Daly City. Some very, very magnificent landscape in that state. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
They would have 2 senators and 8 House of Representatives members at the current average representation ratio of 750,000 persons. They would be equal in area to New Jersey with the population of the state of Minnesota.
Okay.
New Jersey will fit into California 19 times.
Okay.
Minnesota will fit into California 2 times.
Okay.
And we've got current representatives there. Wood in the Assembly, McGuire in the Senate, Thompson in the Assembly, Dodd in the Senate, Levine in the Assembly, Huffman in Congress, Frazier in the Assembly, Grayson in the Assembly.
Okay.
Glazer in the Senate, Dusanier in the Federal Congress, Nancy Pelosi in the Federal Congress, Issue and Spire in the Federal Congress, Wicks, Bonta, and Quirk in the State Assembly, Ting, Chew in the State Assembly, Weiner in the Senate, Mullen in the Assembly, and Hill in the Senate. If we went on the 30,000 reps in that state constitution upon formation, they would have 204 state representatives. Okay. So that proposed state would have more representatives than the entire state of California.
Yeah.
So that's where that's at. Really, would ask you guys to go to the Americans Restoring Representation Facebook page. All these spreadsheets can be found on that page.
As always, I'm going to link them in the description of this podcast. Please look at our show notes. There's tons of links in there.
Where we get
lots of important stuff.
Where we get our information.
Yep.
And put it into the spreadsheets.
Yep.
Is all there for you to view.
And this
we need representatives in all 50 counties of California.
Mm-hmm.
If you're wanting to become involved in something that's not partisan, that does recognize local authority, that does recognize the need for representation. Paul Preston doesn't have anything to do with this. This is not, some crazy publicity stunt. Yeah. We don't ask for your money. You're willing to donate. That's wonderful. Help us offset our expenses, paper, ink, da-da-da-da-da.
Yep.
Help us get the word out in your local area. We're always able to chat about these things. And would love to have you on board, regardless if you come from another movement or not. If you see value in what we're talking about, then we'd love to have you. Next time we'll talk about proposed state number 3.
Okay.
Areas like Sierra, Nevada, Placer, Yuba, Sutter, Yolo, Sacramento, El Dorado, and Amador counties. But that's about wrap up our show for today, I think.
All right.
So, like I say on Facebook, stay ignorant, my friends. Johnny will always be there to correct you. You people. people listening to our show are fine. It's everybody else.
Yeah, exactly. Alrighty, well, I want to thank you for listening to this episode of Forgotten Liberty Radio. I want to remind you again, join us on Facebook at 9 a.m. most Saturdays. Haven't missed one yet, but this is only our third episode, so join us there. You'll find the link for that in the description below. You can email us feedback at ForgottenLibertyRadio.com, or you can leave us a voicemail 209-214-8099. That's 214-8099. Don't forget to find us in your podcast player of choice. Subscribe to us. Thank you so much for listening to this episode, and we'll catch you next time.
Peace.